Example 3 says, you see a firefighter aim a fire hose from 4 feet above the ground at a window that is 26 feet above the ground. The equation H equals negative 0.01 d squared plus 1.06 d plus s models the path of the water with starting height s and final height h in feet. Estimate the horizontal distance d in feet between the firefighter and the building. Round your answer to the nearest hundredth if necessary. So we're given the equation we need to use, and what we need to figure out is what letters we have. So let's figure that out. It says you see a firefighter aim a fire hose from 4 feet above the ground. So 4 feet above the ground means that is our initial height, or starting height, which is S. So we know that S is equal to 4. Then it says we're aiming it to a window that is 26 feet above the ground. So the final height where we want that water to end up is 26 feet. So our final height, which is H, is 26. So we can write down H equals 26. And we're looking to find the horizontal distance, which is D. So D is the variable we want to solve for. So D is our question mark. Now in order to solve this, let's start by plugging these numbers in. I'm going to put 26 in for H, equal to negative 0.01 d squared plus 1.06 d plus 4. Now if you take a look at this equation right here, in order to solve a quadratic, we need to make sure that it is set equal to 0. And right now our quadratic is set equal to 26. So before we can get started, we have to subtract that 26 over to the other side. So we're going to subtract 26 from the left, which means we have to also subtract 26 from the right. And when we do that, 26 minus 26 is just 0. On the right-hand side, we're looking for like terms. Is this minus 26, does it have a like term that it can be combined with? And yes, it's got another constant over here, which is 4. So we're going to end up with negative 0.01 d squared plus 1.06 d minus 22. And from here, we want to go through and solve using the quadratic formula. Using the quadratic formula, we need our A, our B, and our C value. A is the number in front of the d squared, so A is negative 0.01. B is our number in front of our D, our linear term, so which is 1.06. And C is always our constant, and in this case our constant is negative 22. Then what we want to do is we want to find that discriminant. Remember the discriminant is B squared minus 4 times A times C. So B squared, we have 1.06 squared minus 4 times A times C. And if we calculate that, again, put that in your calculator. Anytime we're putting stuff in our calculator, you should always try to pause the video, plug it in, make sure you're getting the same numbers. And if you plug this one in, you should get 0.24. I'm going to move this over just a little bit more. 0.2436. Then we can go ahead and plug this into the quadratic formula. So we have D is what we're solving for. You know what, I'm going to change colors just so we can keep track of it all. So D is going to equal the opposite of B, so negative 1.06 plus or minus the square root of our discriminant, which was 0.2436. That's a decimal point right there. Dividing that all by 2 times my A value, negative 0.01. If I multiply the bottom out, so multiply the 2 times the negative 0.01, that gives me negative 0.02. So this is going to be negative 1.06 plus or minus the square root of 0.2436, all divided by negative 0.02. And then from here, I'm going to have 2 different possibilities. So 2 spots that I can do. One where I'm adding and one where I'm subtracting. So I have negative 1.06 plus the square root of 0.2436 all over negative 0.02. And I have one where I'm subtracting negative 1.06 minus the square root of 0.2436 all over negative 0.02. And if I calculate those, so again, plug those into your calculator. So negative 1.06 plus the square root, and then divide that by negative 0.02. The plus one, you should get 28. So let's say this is 28.32. And then the subtraction one, so if you do this one over here with the subtracting, plug that in, you should get 77.68. So we actually have two positive answers, and our distance could be positive. So we actually have two different distances that we could have. So we can say the firefighter can be 28.32 feet or 77.68 feet away. So two answers, two possibilities, which is possible for a lot of these word problems. If you have questions, let me know.